drip, drip, drip.
I decided to create a world where color has meaning. I'm Jessica Mariko. I'm the CEO and creative director of Drip. I'm from Michigan. I grew up there until I was about 22 and then moved down to Orlando. I grew up in the suburbs. I had a pretty easy childhood. I had great parents. They put me in every creative class imaginable. I danced since I was 4, and so sometimes I would say I wanted to be a dancer. And usually when I told adults that I wanted to be a dancer, they kind of thought that was not realistic. Everyone always said that I had to pick one thing that I had to focus on in order to be really good at it and be really successful at it, and I could never pick that one thing. In high school, I was definitely not popular. I never seemed to be able to figure out where I belonged. In college, I had an amazing dance professor, and she really encouraged all of us to think outside the box and do things that other people weren't doing and try things in new ways. So in that environment in college, I felt like I belonged. And then after college, I went back out into the world, and I was trying to do these really abstract things that other people weren't doing, and that's when I started to feel a little bit more like I was being held back. I was asked to create a contemporary dance duet for the Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival's opening gala. And my dancer dropped out at the last minute, and I had nothing to perform. And so I asked my roommate, who was a visual artist, if she would come on stage with me and do something. I happened to have this huge white cloth, and it was the entire size of the stage. And so we covered the entire stage with this white cloth, and we put this big red door in the middle of it. And we did this performance art piece with dance and paint to the Rolling Stones song Paint It Black. And it was just this random experiment that we threw together, and afterwards the audience came up to us and they said, you know, when are you doing your full-length show? We want to see it. We were like, we don't have a full-length show. That was all we had. And so then the following year we decided we were going to create one. I finally decided that it was time for us to have our own permanent venue. Throughout the years, a lot of people have helped me. A lot of people, a lot of companies. The dancers and musicians helped renovate it. We painted the walls together. We ripped the carpet off the floors. You know, my uncles built the stools. You know, my boyfriend built the bar. You know, we had a lot of friends, a lot of outside artists, independent contractors, all kinds of people help along the way. So we definitely could not have done it without them. All kinds of crew members contribute and work really hard every day to be a part of this dream. Our crew gets here several hours before we open the doors. They set up the show. A lot of the show can't be preset because the materials settle, and when they settle, they don't work the same way that they would work if you had just set them. They have to set the majority of everything up immediately before the show. So they're filling paint balloons, raking and shoveling sand. The bartenders are setting up the bar, and then the musicians get here. We have a live t-shirt cutting station, so we're setting that up, setting up the box office, making sure the bathrooms are clean, just making sure everything looks good. The dancers will get here a few hours early, and then they go into the back, they put makeup on, they put their costumes on, and then the dancers come out right when we open the doors. I decided to create a world where color has meaning, and so you're born into this world where it's a blank color palette. As you have life experiences, you start to develop a color aura. So, maybe as something, happens to you, or you interact with different people, your color aura kind of might be yellow, and then over time it could change to orangish red, and it just changes over time. And so in our show, you can see the kind of color energies or color auras of the different characters. we're definitely bringing art and culture to, the tourist area, which is great. Just in general, we want to create art that people haven't seen before. We want to constantly be doing things that are unexpected. We want to open their minds. We hope to touch everyone while they're here and just let them have a really fun and exciting and out-of-the-box time, at Drip. And then when the show began, I just wanted it to kind of pop out of nowhere and kind of take them into our world. The show on International Drive is going to be constantly changing, constantly growing. We opened the doors at a time because we had to due to our lease agreement, and so we opened with what we had, but ever since then we've been in constant upgrade mode. In this space we're going to be doing a lot of special events, so you can look for those. We have so many people who come here from all around the world, and every day someone is saying, oh my gosh, Drip would be perfect in this city, Drip would be perfect in my hometown. I would really need to do a lot of research and just figure out where we would fit best. From the building renovations to unexpected expenses to losing a performer the night of a show and having to scramble around and figure out what we were going to do, not having enough money, having to raise $5,000 in 12 hours or else everything would go away. There have been so many different kinds of ups and downs and challenges, but one thing I've really learned from other entrepreneurs and people who have been successful at their dreams is to just, no matter what happens, to just never give up and just keep going. So it's just all about persistence. I think a lot of arts organizations, feel like family when they work together because you're doing what you love and you're around each other so much. We've gotten to this point where we've started accepting each other for who we really are instead of the kind of fake idea of family. We've started really learning kind of our strengths and our weaknesses. We know everyone wants to be here and build this dream together. I just started to recently feel like it truly was a family. We are Drip.